so happy and like, okay, maybe this is for me. I didn't realize I was actually entering secular music. Very powerful today. And for me, I was like, no, did God forget me? No.
Welcome to Unbreakable Voices, Stories of Resilience, where we uncover the stories of individuals who have faced adversity head-on and emerged stronger than before.
In today's episode, prepare to be inspired as we delve into the captivating tale of a woman who weathered the storms of rejection, marital strife, a descent into the depth of despair,
my career gone, his business gone,
and the loss of her wealth, only to find solace and redemption in her unwavering faith.
The cancer, the tumor in the right lung is 10 centimeters by 9 centimeters. It's like a fist.
Get ready to witness the power of resilience and the triumph of the human spirit as we present her remarkable story of transformation.
Am I normal? What is this happening? So it's the power that was working behind it. Because when I was on stage, another face would come. That was not me at all. Once I see a white python, it would caress me, around me, from the head to the tail, to my legs, It's like it would be one with me.
This is Unbreakable Voices, Stories of Resilience. Come with me.
Stories of resilience. Unbreakable voices.
Then, in the process of that, then I started having babies. I had 2 daughters. My firstborn is doing her 4th year now. She's doing IT, and my second-born is in Form 4 right now. Gorgeous girls, I'm telling you. My advice to young girls, don't do abortions, because that's the pressure I got. A lot of people told me, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're singing and you're traveling and you want to get pregnant, you're crazy. But I was like, no, I can't make that decision. I think I'll be haunted for the rest of my life. So the church background actually helped me make decisions. Even if I was in the world, it really left an impact. I got into a relationship. And I thought that he loved me, I thought that he really treasured me, and it was not serious. So when I got pregnant and I passed the news to him, he was like, oh, okay, this is too much to handle. He took off. So that was the firstborn. After 4 years, I think about 4 years. So remember, that relationship is gone, huh? You see, he's moved on, and I've moved on. My daughter now is growing, she's growing. I put her to a school, and, I get into another relationship. This time it is somebody that I was working with, a drummer in the same band that I was working with. And I thought, maybe finally, I think I can now tell my mom I have somebody serious. The other guy was not. So, only to find out, all that time, I got pregnant with him. He was trying to woo me to become his wife, but he wanted not to see my parents. So that also is another red flag I saw. I said, this man was not serious. How is it that he wants to start a family, not with my parents' knowledge? So I talked to my sister. My sister approached my father, and she told him, what, this man does not even want to see you. So what do we do? So my father said, okay, that relationship has to stop, and that's what happened. I would go to church sometimes. I would feel that conviction, repent, turn your way, turn back to the Lord. And then my stubborn side says, no, I'm not ready. So I was having that inner battle within me. I'm hearing that voice. When I go to church, I feel that warmth and that calling to go back. But at the same time, I'm so much into the world, it's not making sense. So, and the places where I was singing, other than just going abroad, I would sing in the clubs. Like I was singing in K2, in Choices, South B. I was inside the world completely. But the things that helped me survive in the world was the principles I was brought up with. Despite being messed up so badly, but so far too many, I still held on to that little integrity that was left. So people would say, we want a singer. Okay, they give you a little probation. They want to see what sort of a person you are. Are you a drunkard? Do you go sleeping around with men or whatever? So I won favor because I passed in all those things that they needed. So I was not sleeping around with men. I was not drinking. I was not smoking. I would finish singing and I go directly to the house. So that they would ask me, why are you always in a hurry to go back home? I say, no, I have my children. I'm taking care of my children. I would always tell them that. So even relationship niliweka to X. So I was just working. I would go to Holland, go to France, go to whatever, and come back with some money, spoil my children rotten. We go to trips in Mombasa. I decided no men anymore. No. And I didn't know that there was love anymore because that part of me was damaged already. Okay, so during the course of my singing and traveling and recording, because I recorded so many albums for different people, not just our own with the band. One time I was singing in Westlands, and there was a man that came, and he was really fond of me. He would come celebrate me, and Fraya. When I was singing, he would come dance, and then go. And then, you always get fans, especially when you work in a certain place for a period of time. So I used to work for a three-man band, where it was just a keyboardist, a guitarist, and me singing. So in that small setting, that's where I met the Israeli. And he was not in a hurry really to make his move. So I would be told that there's a man who is interested in you. And every time I would get tips, like sometimes I would get 2,000, I get 1,000, and I said, wow, who is this so generous? I must see this person. He keeps giving me money like this. Or if it was not money, he would get me apple juice, like 6 of them, sometimes 3 of them. It was too much. So I told my manager, please, can you find out who's this person who keeps buying me drinks or gives me money? The manager of the hotel told me he was Egyptian. He said, that man does not want to be found out yet. Just know that he likes you very much and he's an admirer of yours. And if you don't come to sing, he's not going to come. So one time I got so sick, like singing too, I would sometimes sing from Sunday to Sunday in different locations. And my voice got so tired and it's like I had this heavy sore from singing too much. And I called the hotel and I told them I could not go to sing. Do you know what he told me? I am making for you concussions. Can you go now? Take a taxi? I don't care if you have money or not, I'll pay for it. I said, no, but I can't sing. I was so sore. My voice, my throat was aching everywhere. And he said, no, I will make you cinnamon and put honey and lemon, everything I'll put inside. You must come because the person who brings for me customers is actually your secret admirer. And if you're not coming, I miss customers. I didn't have a choice, so I prepared quickly, hugged my children because I would work at night. And sometimes I would sing 6 hours straight. Okay. I took a cab and I went to Westlands, only to find out, okay, he's there. He's brought fellow Israelis and other friends of his. And, I was given the drink. He kept his promise. I drank the drink and I felt really better. I felt soothed and he gave me some painkillers to stop the pain. So I started singing such heaviness. It's like singing when you have such heavy homa, the voice changes. But still, it went out okay. I was not feeling pain and I sang okay. Some keys I could not sing high, so I had to sing very low keys. And it went well, okay, and that is the day he introduced himself, the Israeli. When I was heading out, and then he asked me, you're the one who keeps just gushing out. Every time you finish singing, you don't say hi to anyone. I said, but I have things to do at home. I can't hang around here. I said, no, and I like you. I'm looking for a wife. He was really upfront. I thought that was a strange thing. It's like, you're looking for a wife? Okay. I told him, you're in the wrong place. You can't find a wife here. Maybe go to your business places and those things that you like to do. Maybe you can find a wife there. He said that it is you. I said, no. How? What do you mean? So he said, okay, why don't you do this? Let's go for a date away from the music and me, away from the office. And let's meet somewhere. So we set a date. I went. I met him in his office and then we went to a nice hotel restaurant. It was China Plate, Westlands. And my goodness, he bought me a full chicken. I could not finish even half. I thought this man was so strange. Like, wow. Then he noticed I was getting a little bit worried. And he's like, no, don't worry. I'm not going to rush you. You're very precious to me. I am not going to rush you. So one time, we stayed 2 weeks without communicating. So I thought, maybe he's moved on. He's probably found somebody. It's no big deal anyway. He called me after 2 weeks and said, please, I want you to come to my office. So I went to his office. We went out for lunch and he said, I really seriously want you. Please, I want to meet your parents. And I was like, wow, you want to meet my parents? I said, yes. Let me know when they come. Okay, so I told my mom, I said, Mommy, I think you'll find this crazy, but there's a man who wants to see you and Daddy. It's like, who is that? An Israeli. What does he want? I think he wants me. Okay. Yeah, so he ended up marrying me. And he took my children as his children. He adopted them. So he would take them to school, buy them clothes. If he goes to trips in China, he would come back with bags full of clothes. And yeah, we continued our lives like that until he got sick. Very, very sick. I received a phone call from the studio and said, come very quickly because your husband is not well. He's in Nairobi hospital. I said, what is happening? So I left the studio, got into my car, drove to Nairobi hospital very quickly. And it was raining, so I was shaking. I could not see the road properly. And Nairobi hospital, it's very, when the rain is so much, driving from South B all the way and jam, I was so stressed out. So I got there and only to find out that he was really in bad shape. And they had done a lot of tests, like 3 times they did lab tests, and they found that he had cancer. And they thought he had TB. So, but there was an argument between the professor and the doctor. The doctor thought, no, that cannot be TB. The other doctor said, no. So now the family in Israel, when they saw that confusion, they said, no, we must bring him to be treated in Israel because Israel has sophisticated machines. So, okay, I knew, okay, that's it. Now he's sick. Now he's going to go to Israel. You know what he told me? What he told me, I am not leaving you. You're my woman. You're coming with me. I said, what do you mean? Yes, you're coming with me. He called the embassy. Do you know that's what happened? I gave my passport. It came back with a visa of Israeli visa, and that's how I ended up in Israel. I didn't go for any interview. Went to Israel. By the way, that was the first time I flew first class. It was nice, but we were stressed out and very tired and worn out, going from that, not sleeping for many days. Going to the moment we landed in Israel like this, he had to be taken to the hospital immediately. Now they had to start afresh, all their tests and all that. They found, yes, cancer was there. And they found that it was not TB, it is actually diabetes. And it was very high, I had diabetes. So for 2 weeks, they gave him insulin. It dropped and they started now doing chemotherapy. So we were thinking, it's only 3 months treatment, we come back to Nairobi. So I'm calling my people in Nairobi and I'm telling them I'm coming to continue my work in the studio and singing everywhere. And they're like, the doctor said, forget it, you're staying here. What do you mean? The cancer, the tumor in the right lung is 10 centimeters by 9 centimeters. It's like a fist, literally. Oh my gosh. So I knew that was it. My career, gone. His business, gone. And we started life in a different angle now, different gear. Wow. I went from being a wife to a caretaker. It was not easy, There were moments when things were very, very tense. Because he would, somebody who has high diabetes is a person who gets angry most of the time. And sometimes, they're always unstable. You don't know what makes him angry or whatever. So it was a roller coaster ride for us. And I would call my mom. My mom was really a great supporter. Oh my gosh, she really, really, she stood by me and prayed for me. And she's like, hang in there, just hang in there. We are praying for him. So I would feel encouraged every time she would tell me that. But now, you see, there's no church in Israel that I could attend. I mean, going to a people who actually don't love Jesus. They literally hate him and despise him to the core. So I went to Nairobi. Yes, people get drunk and they will still sing, kuna dawa, and it's a bar. To a place where they literally hate Jesus. And it was not easy. So I carried my Bible. I always carried my Bible for some reason. I love to read scriptures, and I would wish that I had someone to talk to me about, can we talk about Jesus more? But then it was not easy, because even if I was reading the Bible, I had to do it hidden, because it would bring problems. Because my husband would tell me, you're in Israel, you want to be killed. Here they'll kill you. Here they don't want to hear the name Jesus. And in fact, the name they gave him is a name that I cannot even call myself. They add insult to his name, which is very, very bad. So, but for some reason, I still kept on defending Jesus. So I dwindled even further, more and more, down. And I joined a cult. I didn't know it was a cult. They call it Kabala, where they believe in tree of life. They believe in, they call it Sephirot. Yeah, Sephirot is like, those lucky numbers. You have, I don't know what lucky number and whatever. And I would believe so heavily in that. Yeah, like the way people do horoscopes and stuff like that. Yeah, Kabbalah is similar, where it's very mystical in nature, and it's very actually demonic, if I may say. Yeah, it's very demonic because you invoke powers. And there's a time then I realized that this thing has power. It can really overtake someone completely. So I felt something had overcome me. So when I would go to sing, because I sang in Israel also a lot, so I would be called to a hotel, like a 5-star hotel like this, come and sing. I tell you, I climb on stage and people go crazy. There's like something that would come over me that was a confidence that was not really normal. My face would change and people would jump on their seats like, wow, what a singer. They would go crazy, completely crazy. They don't want me to leave the stage. We want more. Yeah, because of singing, just singing. And I look at myself and say, I'm just a normal person, am I? I would ask my husband, yeah, I'm just normal, I'm normal. It's like, you're normal, but you're talented. Yeah, there was a power behind it because I joined that cult. So every time I go to another place like a town called Elat. Going to Elat is like Mombasa. It's on the Red Sea. I was like, now the friends of my husband were like, you are a singer. They push me, go to sing. It's like, no, surely this is a band that is not even ours. We are here, like, yes. No, go. So one of the friends went to the one who was in charge of the band. It's like, you have to listen to this lady. So I was called. I didn't know he did that. Going on stage, and it was a South African band. And I sang one of their songs because I knew many songs. I took the mic, same money. I don't know whether to call it a problem or people are crazy. They were excited, giving money and all that. I thought that was crazy. I've never seen this. I'd never seen this. And then I would ask, again, am I normal? What is this happening? So it's the power that was working behind it. Because when I was on stage, another face would come. That was not me at all. And then I understood, that's why people like Beyonce say that there's another spirit that comes in when they go on stage. But when you meet them on a normal day, they are very normal. But on stage, it's a different face. And that's the exact spirit I felt. Very different, courage, confidence, very fierce. Yeah, like you're going to break that stage, And I got accepted like that, and people would go crazy. I'm getting invitations, singing from this hotel, I'm going to another hotel. Until one point, my husband got severely sick again. So that means I had to leave music and now take care of him again, because he was in remission during the years after the first, when they took care of the diabetes and it went down, and they did the cancer treatments, it went down. The tumor shrinked. So now we were a bit in a remission. That's why I was doing all the singing. But now when he got sick again, another tumor was found somewhere in the chest cavity. And they had to now again run more tests and do chemotherapy, radiation. He would react on it. He would vomit at some. I would have visions at night where a white python, but don't be scared. Don't worry, I'm saved. A white python would, once I see a white python, it would caress me, around me, from the head to the tail, to my legs, It's like it would be one with me, which was strange. A white python, an albino one. And if this python, if I have a vision of, or a dream of somebody, that python going to that person, if it goes to that person and does that, it will kill him. Another one, if I dream again, the same thing. If that white python I see it's curling around somebody, I started now knowing they won't live. So if it's either a sickness that will take them, it's mostly heart attack, or it is cancer or some other disease, oh my gosh, it was really nice. I started now getting scared. What am I seeing? What is this white python that I would see that would caress me, but if it comes near somebody, that was a sign that that person would die. I knew I was in trouble. Immediately, I started contacting oracles from the internet. And one lady told me, you have a gift, that you are a clairvoyant. I said, what? I went and Googled the meaning of clairvoyant. It means that I can predict the way people live, and I can be answer to their problems and solutions. And it's true. I would say things and they would come true immediately. Like, for instance, if somebody would come to me and say, my marriage is in trouble, I would say exactly what and what is the reason, without even them telling me, and I would know immediately. I said, no. So I got scared. I said, no, this is not normal. This is not happening. Wow, that was not normal. So one day, I dreamt a python circling around my husband, strangled him. I knew that is trouble, that is trouble. And now I remember now all that time I'm feeling disturbance, and my body was acting really funny. I could sleep and wake up at 2 in the morning. 2 in the afternoon. I would have strange body things. I would get attacked and I don't see what it is. So now I knew that I'm really in trouble. So I started just crying out for help. Really, I told my mom, I'm suffering. I'm feeling emotionally troubled. I'm getting attacked. I keep having these dreams. I didn't tell her exactly what it was because I didn't want her to get scared. I didn't tell her that I had joined a cult, that I was not aware it was that serious and that bad. So, and she's like, we still pray for you. We are praying for you. Let me tell you, one day, that was the transition moment. When I said enough was enough. I laid on my bed looking at the ceiling. My husband was seated on the computer. I said, I don't care what my husband thinks of me now. I started crying for help to God. And I said, I know I have offended you. Forgive me and come to my life. Forgive me for all the things I've done, and deliver me from all the things that I'm having. Rescue me from all these wicked forces. Come to me and I will serve you. Come to me. I tell you, I said such a prayer and I was crying heavily. And I slept for the first time like a baby. My husband was like in shock, because many times I would wake up. It was always weird every night, and I would not sleep. Every night I would not sleep. Sometimes I would dream I'm falling inside a bottomless pit. Every night, and then I started to change. With of course not immediately, with a period of time. And the thing that led me to that salvation prayer, or the deliverance moment, is I saw a rabbi that is saved that was praying for people. I heard his message and I felt that love of God. That is the one that drew me, and I was in tears. I said, I want that love of God. I want that love of God. I was so hungry for that love of God. Like I almost wanted to touch it. I want this love of God, and that's why I made that prayer. And I thank God that he heard me, and I slept very well. I had peace in my heart, peace in my mind. I slept. My husband noticed. I said, you've changed. After, of course, a process of time. You're different. You look peaceful. What is happening? I didn't tell him that I got saved. So I told him, it's God. It's just God. So what I did, I started sneaking every Shabbat to go to church. I didn't want him to know. I would tell him it's the synagogue that I used to go to. But then I'm like, it was not that synagogue. It's the church that, because of the laws in Israel, you have to attend every Saturday, because Sunday is a normal working day. And I would go there and find believers. The church was founded by David Wilkerson's brother, one of the icons of the gospel. But David, his teachings was very similar to like ours in KG. And it taught me a lot. I started growing and growing and growing, and I met people who really showed me so much love. The wife of the bishop was the one really interested in me, and she was like, you have a calling. I was like, how do you know? Now she's reminding me of what my mother used to tell me. It's like, where did you get that from? I was like, I know. I want you to stay close to me. So every time there was praise and worship, she would lead praise and worship. So she would like, please come for a practice. So I would come for practice. She told me, just follow along as we sing, know the songs. So because I would sing many songs in Hebrew. And I would learn I learned a few songs. But now, when the moment came to try and join the praise and worship, I had a attack. Yeah, I'll sing one. It says, Elohim lanu machasevaoz, Ezra betaot, nimtza meod. Elohim lanu machasevaoz, Ezat betaot, nimtza meod. Adonai tevaot imanu, nisgav lanu Elohei kadosh. Selah, Selah, Adonai tevaot imanu, nisgav lanu Elohei Yaakov. Selah, Selah, Selah.